going on? It is the Joey Digital, and I'm here at the amazing, you guessed it, you already guessed it, Las Olas. You know what I'm saying? Amazing, man. Look at this. Let me get y'all. It's been a while since I've been here, probably like a few months. You know what I mean? You got the people taking photographs and everything like that. I just wanted to hop on here real fast and say what is up, see what is good with the collective. Hoping, wishing, praying that your day is blessed, beautiful, and highly favored. Let me show y'all this real quick. I thought this was kind of inspirational. Yeah. You know, we vibing out, man. I'm just out here, man, just trying to switch it up just a little bit. You know, hold on. The clearest way into the universe is through a forest wilderness. Yeah, I like that. You know, and actually that resonates a lot with the journey that I'm on. You know, as of late, man, you know, I've been on this journey. Shout out to the collective. Y'all been checking out the content. I've been making all kind of different content, and it's all good, man. Like, you know, I just want to, you know, I love the freedom of being able to just create whatever, you know, and, you know, it all ties in, you know, it's all tying in. And this is kind of the journey that I'm on, you know, when you find yourself and you find what you truly are, who you truly are, and you're able to really show up as your true authentic self, you know. And this is some fire artwork right here. Hold on, let me show y'all real quick. I don't know if y'all can see in that window. That little square. Yeah, they got some nice artwork, man, out here, man. But you know, listen, y'all know how I've been showing up, man. I've been creating content, mostly spiritual, mostly inspirational, mostly motivational. For those of y'all who just started, you know, subscribing to the channel, I have been doing some tarot readings. I have been getting into that. I've been feeling called to get into that, you know. And I'm loving that as well. I'm having a lot of fun with that, and actually it's really showing me a lot about myself as well, you know. And you know, I do it when I'm inspired to hop into it. But you know, it's being received really well, man, and I'm super happy that y'all love that, because it was kind of one of those things where I wasn't sure if it was going to be received. But as y'all know, in this journey, you know, I just follow my heart and I just do what I feel. I do what I feel calls out to me, you know. And I got some more fire artwork coming up real quick. Let me show y'all real fast. We over here. Yeah, that's fire, man. I like that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna take y'all up here real quick before I get into the message. Cause I'm just down here. I'm down here at Las Olas. I'm just kind of vibing out. And yeah, you know, this journey right here, man, it's been, I wouldn't say kind of fun, it's been real fun, you know. Like I've traveled, you know. It's like, you know, you get on planes, you get on trains, you know, and you just enjoy sharing with people your life or what you learned. Check this out. This is fire. Like a little, I wouldn't even call them cabanas or whatever. I don't know what to call these, but they look comfortable. They look comfortable. I'm not gonna be filming in here though, but I just wanted to show y'all real quick, just to switch it up, you know, because, you know, I'm always, you know where I'm always at. I'm always at the beach, or lately I've been at the house, and which is nothing wrong with that. I actually feel comfortable shooting there too. But you know, I have this whole thing about like being in the house a lot, you know. Like I don't want to be in the house too crazy, you know. Like I like being in the house when I need to be in the house, but I like to get out, you know, get out and be outside. you know, outside. And it's summer. It's not even summer yet, but it feels like it's summer. The only setback with that feeling though is that right now it is the rainy season. So even though you have that summer heat that's coming through, it's still kind of rainy right now. Like everything is kind of like in that rainy zone. And you know, it's just yeah, let me show y'all. All right, yeah, now let me get into the message, because I'm just kind of like teetering. I'm teeter-tottering, you know what I mean? But y'all love me, man. Y'all love the energy anyway. I already know. And I'm just super happy to have y'all. But you know, I really love that message that was in the beginning of the video that I read from, you know, about the wilderness, about, you know, finding the answers. I can't even remember verbatim how I read it, but I remember the message that resonated. And it's all about self-discovery, you know. It's all about discovering self, and it's about really connecting with self, reconnecting with self, and really not being afraid to find what you're looking for, whatever it is that you find within, you know. Because there's so, as I was saying in my other video, there's so many different programs that are running till, you know, you don't really get to even meet yourself. You know, you don't get to even know like what you know what you're doing, but you don't know who you are a lot of times until you really sit with yourself and do the math or do the knowledge. And you know, I feel like that's the fun part, because it's the most scary part, and it's the part that like it's the most avoided ever. But the truth is the truth, you know. And the truth is gonna, it never changes, you know. It's just like when you learn a skill, or you at a job and you learn how to do the work at a job or something, that you get trained. It's like you only learn once, you know what I mean? Like you only learn it one time. And I think I could cross. Yeah, there's not a lot of traffic today. You only learn once, man. You know, like when you're learning yourself, it's like learning a job, right? Or a skill, or, you know, like, because I'm an artist, so I do digital art. You only learn the task once, and it never changes unless you tweak it, you know, unless you add your own kick to it. That's the only way it's gonna change it. So I be feeling like it'd be fun, but it's scary. It's scary to learn, because you don't know what's unearthed inside of you. You don't know what kind of I'm not even gonna say trauma, because you know, a lot of us, you know, it's all about perspective, and some things are not traumatic, really. Let's just be, you know, I know society, you know, is quick to throw like, oh, everybody's traumatized. I don't feel like everybody's traumatized. I just feel like it's a perspective. It's like, it all depends on how you see what you've been through, you know. Some people feel like it's a blessing. Some people feel like that breakup is a blessing. Some people feel like that breakup is a blessing. They're like, oh, you don't like me? You don't like me? People that rock, you know what I'm saying? It's a blessing, because now I have the capacity to find that love. You know, I'm just saying, nobody, you know, everybody loves me, but I'm just saying, like, but I'm just making a point. It's like you have the capacity to bring somebody in, and you can take your time, and people can get to know you and see, hey, you know, oh, you all right. And then you can see them and say, oh, you know, y'all are cool and whatever. And then it's a beautiful transaction of, you know, energy, frequency and vibration. And I just be feeling like the more you learn yourself, the easier life becomes, because it's a confirmation. Once you learn, big confirmation. Once you learn who you are, once you learn what you are, it's so easy to share that with somebody, because it doesn't change. It doesn't change, you know, especially when you learn the hard stuff about yourself and you find out that it's really a perspective and it's not even hard. Let's look at this. Beautiful, beautiful. Hold on, wait. there's so much art down here, man. To my art enthusiasts, man. Should I go closer? Yeah, I'm gonna go closer. Yeah, so let me show y'all this artwork real quick. Look at this. Beautiful, man. I don't know if my camera's gonna start that thing where it starts like turning off every few minutes, because my battery is a little bit hot. So if y'all see this video getting a little bit sketchy, just know that I am busy out here, getting busy. And plus I'm outside and it's a little bit warm out here. Not really, because it just got finished raining. So it's like cool, but yeah. So anyways, you know, what I was talking about earlier is life gets so much easier when you learn yourself and you learn about the different things that you really truly are. And I feel like it gets fun when you learn about yourself, because it's so unique. You know, each person is very unique, and each person is is created great, you know, from the creator, you know, and you are imperfectly perfect, regardless of how, you know, like how you're created, you know. And everybody has their special thing that they bring to this world that can make this world better. And I feel like that's the part of discovering what life is all about. For me, that was the beautiful part that I loved, you know, because once I realized that, okay, I'm an amazing artist, but I'm a really good listener. I'm an amazing artist that's a really good listener, but I'm very observant. Once I learned that I do have a photographic memory, and that helps me with my art, you know. Oh, this is beautiful. Yeah, man, we vibing, man. We in Las Olas real quick. You know, a lot of this, it makes life fun because you can share this with people, and it really is fun to know that there's gonna be somebody that finds you interesting, you know. Like, there's gonna be somebody right now that they'll sit with you and just pick your brain for hours. They'll pick your brain just to see how you came up with that thought, or what made you think about that, or what pushed you to be great during that time, you know what I mean? And so I think that's the fun part too, you know. Life gets fun, man, when you start really unearthing a lot of the things that are inside of us. And it doesn't have to be buried from trauma. It could just be, you know, like I say in my videos, it comes from remembering, you know. Like, it's just a matter of, you know, when you're born, you're just going through life, and you're trying to piece together the different aspects of yourself that you've never known yet. It's not about going through anything traumatic and it being buried underneath of anything. It's just a matter of you're living your life, and you know, it's up to us how deep we discover ourselves, you know. And so another thing too that I'm enjoying about life is, you know, being able to share, you know, like being able to share with people. Now with me, how I like to share, that's a fire G-Wagon. Yo, I affirm that. Yeah, that's fire. So outside. So yeah, so one thing that I like to share is I like to be able to sit and like listen. Like I'm a listener. You know what I mean? I like to sit and listen and just like see what people talk about, see what I can learn. You know, I'm gonna forever be a student, you know what I mean? Like, I'm one of those kind of people, and I never go into a situation where I'm meeting people or you know, whether it's a business or, you know, personal, whatever. I never go in like a know-it-all. You know, I would rather just sit and listen and not interrupt the person, because you only get one chance really for people to share wisdom with you. And if they feel like you might miss the mark, or you're not paying attention, or it's going over your head, it's over. you're never, even if they say it again, it's never gonna come across the way it originally was inspired the first trip around. You know, hit that like button. And so, you know, I just love to sit at people's feet and listen, and I love to, you know, and it's not even about necessarily gain anything I can gain, you know, gaining the knowledge or the wisdom. Maybe me listening to that person might help that person. Maybe it may help them with the lifetime of studies that they have acquired, and it may inspire them to go deeper in their studies, you know, because as we talk about on this channel, even when you get to the highest level, there's still more levels. Even when you make it to the finish line, there's still more races, you know, to run. So I always like to humble. I like to be like not be humble, because listen, especially nowadays, you know, you don't want to be humble, especially if you're confident. You don't want to be humble. And I don't necessarily believe in ego death either, because I feel like your ego is the thing that charges you. I feel like your ego is the thing that shows you, hey, I deserve to be in this room, or I deserve to talk to these people, or I deserve that opportunity. You know, I feel like your ego it's there for a reason, and that's why we have one. You know, now how ego shows up nowadays, you know, it's always like with the you know, like how ego shows up nowadays is more like it's like, oh, you know, my things I acquired, you know, that's how society pushes ego. Like, oh, like I have more stuff, you know what I mean? Like I have more stuff. I'll always have more stuff, and you'll never have as much stuff, or I'm doing more stuff. And I feel like that's not the right, correct way. That I like to use my ego. I like to use ego just to say, you know, I like to use ego as a confidence booster to say, okay, listen, like I feel like I have the right to, you know, be humble, but at the same time I feel like I have the right to be in certain rooms. I feel like I have the right to look in the mirror and say I feel like I look good enough. I feel like that's my birthright. You know, my birthright is to really be happy with how I am, you know. So this is the way I like to use my ego, you know. Like I use my ego to say, you know, hey, I'm good enough. I'm good enough. I'm a good enough creator. I like my outfit. I feel great, you know. And that's less work that another person has to do, you know, when they meet you. You know, that's less things that they have to bring to the table. They can just be themselves. They don't have to just be themselves, and then they have to fix what you have going on. Especially if you have done the work and you are fully aligned with who you are and what your purpose is. You can come 1,000%, and they can show up 1,000%, because even, I know, right, like here I go, I'm going into the whole relationship thing, you know. Like there was the talk, especially like in the 90s, you know, about like the 50-50. It could have even been earlier than that. 50-50, I bring my 50, you bring your 50. But then there's always that idea that, like, what if the 50 that's missing is the 50 that's damaged, you know, or that's like broken, you know. I have to figure out where the video ended at, because I think it just cut off and I didn't see where it ended at. But yeah, so anyways, life is amazing, right? I don't know, I might have to go through and edit it, because, you know, there was a lot of gems in there, but I guess I thought I was recording, but I guess I wasn't. You know, I'll go through the video and see. But I just want to say real quick that, you know, when you learn about yourself, that's where the fun begins, you know. And I'm happy to learn about y'all. Let's connect in the comment section, you know what I mean? I read all my comments, and just know that I love y'all. I'm thinking of y'all. You know, it was a little cool because it just got finished raining, but it is starting to get a little bit warm. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and end this video in advance, so I can take this hot blonde hoodie off, because I don't need to be having no hoodie on, and it's almost summer weather. All right, but it was cool earlier. I don't know what's going on. The weather is wilding, but listen, I love y'all. I'm thinking of y'all. I love y'all. I'm thinking of y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. I'm thinking of y'all. And let's do something great for ourselves this week. All right, sending y'all waves and waves and waves of positive energy, frequency, and vibration in this moment. And just know that you all are greatly appreciated. All right, and I will see you all in the very next video. All right, peace and love. Namaste.